In 1895, the average Argentinian was roughly as rich as the average American. But then in 1995, the average American was 3.5 times richer than the average Argentinian. But why, and how did Argentina decline? Towards the end of the 19th century, Argentina was considered a rising star with the potential to become a major power. The country experienced substantial economic growth, mostly due to the export of meat and the massive inflow of European and American investment. Argentina's government at this point was quite corrupt, so this growth couldn't last forever and growth rates slowed in the wake of World War I. Much of this was down to the fact that the countries investing in Argentina were now broke. However, in 1929, the situation for Argentina improved, or rather worsened, with the onset of the Great Depression. The economic downturn had a significant impact on Argentina's economy. During the Great Depression, Argentina, like many other nations, faced significant challenges. Its primary export was severely impacted, but then it received assistance from its primary export market, Britain, which signed a deal with the Argentinian government. In this, Britain was granted a monopoly on selling coal to Argentina and also preferred trade status, and also British companies would be allowed to effectively control the Argentinian meat market. Now, a country giving away control of its primary export may seem like a bad idea, and that's because it is, but the rulers of Argentina didn't care because this made them very rich. The Great Depression made the average Argentinian significantly poorer. This shockingly led to widespread political discontent and extremism, and a lot of military coups in the following decades. Amidst this instability, Juan Perón emerged as a prominent figure and assumed the presidency in 1946. His primary goals were to remove British influence in the economy, to industrialize the nation, and to decrease inequality. For an extent, he did succeed in his aims at first, and Argentina had a 5-year economic boom. However, this didn't last, and Perón's popularity declined as economic woes returned to Argentina. This was mostly due to the fact that he nationalized everything owned by foreigners, which scared off investors because nobody likes having their stuff taken. Perón was himself a victim of a military coup and spent about 20 years in exile, and during this time Argentina never recovered. Also, the depreciating value of the Argentine peso on the international stage resulted in a steep rise in the cost of imports. Even when Perón returned as president in the 1970s, he couldn't fix these issues, which led to massive levels of polarization and, of course, inflation. And in the end, his successor, his wife, was overthrown in 1976 by Argentina's infamous military junta. The junta did 3 things. It failed to get spending under control, it lost an expensive war, and then it promptly fell apart, leaving the country in a worse shape than it found it. Argentina's attempts to stabilize the peso were hindered by an inconsistent approach that oscillated between interventionist and laissez-faire economic policies. Moreover, pervasive corruption further exacerbated the situation. Argentina's economic dependence on another nation, coupled with decades of unchecked spending and political upheaval, including periods of dictatorship, made it unlikely for the country to recapture the economic growth it experienced in the previous century.